Hi, how are you? We're back inside today because I want to do a presentation today on how to heal your gut from nasty little parasites. It's actually very common and it can have all sorts of implications and symptoms that you may not be aware of. So this is a nice, quick, easy remedy if you actually have some nasty parasites in your gut. So I'm going to get straight into it. And I've prepared some slides. So let me share my screen with you. Here we go. All right. So look at all these nasty little parasites, little pesky critters in your gut. So let's have a deeper look. I hope you haven't eaten too soon before you came on, please. A little warning. Probably don't watch this if you're eating. Okay, here we go. So now many of these symptoms are from intestinal parasites. So there can be things that you may now bloating and gas, it's probably fairly common, stomach pain and tenderness. If you're passing worms in your stool, all of those kind of things we're probably fairly familiar with. Diarrhea is probably a fairly normal well-known symptom of having intestinal parasites. Weight loss obviously can also be, because those little buggers are just eating away on the inside. But you could also have fatigue and weakness. And then you've got nausea and vomiting. So these are all symptoms that you could be experiencing and wondering what on earth's going on. And they could actually be parasites. Now look at these nasty little critters, as I said. So there's lots of different kinds of worms. These are mostly intestinal worms. So you've got the tapeworm, and they can get really large. You've got whipworm, giardia, roundworm, hookworm, and coccidia, I think. So look, nasty. So you don't want any of that in there. Burrowing away, and they can get even outside the intestinal wall and cause all sorts of problems as well if they go on too long. So they may not even just be limited to your intestine. So they can be in lots of different places. Whoops, sorry, I just went a bit too far there. Now, they are most commonly in the intestines, but they could also be in your liver. A common one that affects the liver are fluke worms, but they can also go into your joints. So if you're getting arthritis type pain in your joints, it could actually be something that's caused by a parasite. Giardia often goes to the joints. Now, the lungs can also be home to larvae. That's all the little baby worms and stuff. You can have larvae and different parasites that will cause rashes and itching, but can even go, as I researched this, I didn't realize you can have them in the brain, the eyes, the muscles, and the blood. I mean, yuck. We do not want any of these things. So here's some more flu-like symptoms. Headaches, fatigue, they can be affecting any of these. I couldn't believe this. This poor guy does not look well at all, does he? The hot, swollen, painful joints, paralysis of the face, hearing loss, psychological complications. I mean, if you think you've got worms, it can just play with your mind, right? You can have a rash here on the side of a tick bite. So lots of, we need to open our minds up to, it could be as simple as just parasites, if you're suffering from some of these fairly common symptoms. Now, where do they come from? The most common places are from raw or undercooked meat or fish. Now, I've put in pork here in particular because it was always the case that you had to cook the pork really well because of parasites. And I cannot say for sure that that's still the case. Things may have improved with pork production, but I don't know. So definitely raw and undercooked meats. For those of you who like your meat cooked rare, this is something worth considering. Obviously, you can get it from contaminated food and contaminated water. So particularly where you've been traveling overseas, people will come back with worms and all sorts of parasites. And some of those international parasites can be tricky to get rid of. But you can also get it from your pets or other animals. So if you live on a farm or you've been in close contact with animals, that could be a place where you've picked up some parasites. And of course, we can also pick them up from the soil. So there's lots of ways and places that you can pick up these little buggers. How to get rid of them? It's quick and easy, the good old-fashioned Combantrin. I tried this when I did this a few months ago. I felt really taking control of my digestion, and this was the first thing I did. Get rid of the worms, get rid of the parasites. So these are normally just a 1 dose, the little chocolate squares at the pharmacy. We often give them to our kids, but we should probably also be giving them to ourselves every now and again. It says a 1 dose should do the job. Just because of those little larvae that could hang around, I would probably repeat the dose after a few weeks. And you never feel bad after these. This is a great drug, very safe, very useful, and well worth giving it a go if you think you've got some of those symptoms. So for some of the more nasty parasites that hang around, again, it's very quick and easy to eliminate them. Now, you can go for a natural remedy. We've got here is good old cloves. So cloves are a wonderful remedy, natural remedy that you've got in your pantry. And you can make clove tea. So if you just get a cup of tea, pour boiling water on it and let it sit there for, well, at least until it cools down, but let it sit maybe even overnight. And then if you either warm it up or have it cold the next day, and you can drink the tea of the cloves. If you cook the cloves, it's a really good idea to just suck them, or you can eat them. Mom used to make apple tarts and put cloves in them, and I really enjoyed eating them. I like cloves. And I've also heard they're also very good to chew cloves because they're good for your getting rid of bacteria in your mouth. So if you're not a clove fan, you can try one of these. You can get a lot of these at the health food stores, Mr. Vitamins. I like iHerb online for a lot of stuff. These are very similar. Black walnut and wormwood are the 2 herbal remedies most commonly recommended for getting rid of parasites. Here's another one, worming and parasite cleanse. And you've also got Parastrike, also very good for digestive support. So that'll give you some support and also clean out those nasty parasites. Okay, do I have another one? I think that's us. Yep, let's get out of that. And I've stopped sharing. Good. So it's just quick and easy. So if you suspect that you may be suffering from some of those symptoms, tummy upsets, rashes, irritation, waking up at night, needing to go to the toilet, certainly if you see that you're passing some little worms, anything like that. Itchy anus is another common one for worms. Then why not get a nice quick remedy, do yourself, do the whole family, and clean your sheets and get rid of them. So that's a big number one. If we want to improve our digestion, let's clean out the gut. So let's get all of that cleaned out. Now, there are other things that we can look at. We've often also got fungus. There's different bacterias and candida. So I'll do another little session on that just to keep these videos nice and short and bite-sized if your tummy's feeling okay. So let me know if you think that's been useful. Give it a go. So, and I'll see you again on our next little video. Take care. God bless. Bye.